Luke Pollard.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I won't just declare an interest, but I'm going to proudly proclaim, as the MP for Plymouth Sutton Devonport, I'm Vice Chair also of the All-Party Shipbuilding and Ship Repair Group, and I'm very proud to be a GMB and Unite member. I also would like to add my name to the list of members today who have called for the new Royal Fleet Auxiliary ships to be built in Britain. Build them here, don't ship those jobs abroad. Now, this is not the first time we've spoken about this debate. In January this year, members will recall I led a debate on the National Shipbuilding Strategy in Westminster Hall, in which I offered scrutiny and suggestions to make the strategy more robust and valuable to industry, to government and our armed forces. I asked why, in an uncertain world, are we not spending more on defence. I raised my concern about the damage that constant speculation about the future of amphibious capabilities, like Plymouth's Royal Marines, HMS Albion and HMS Bulwark, has on Plymouth and Devonport, and those who work for our Royal Navy in uniform or not. And I also called for the RFA Fleet Solid Support Ships to be built in Britain. Ministers will know that they have my support in calling for more money for defence from the Treasury, and especially using that money to baseport the new Type 26 frigates in Devonport, save the amphibious ships and strengthen our Royal Navy. But ministers also know that I'm a critical friend of theirs, and in procuring the new RFA ships abroad, they are getting it wrong, and I don't mind telling them that. We need 3 RFAs, not 2. Cutting that order is simply not good enough. At 40,000 tonnes each, the combined order would be the same size as the aircraft carrier order, sustaining jobs right across the country. Now, my arguments are the same today as they were back in January. We risk sleepwalking into major contracts being given abroad. No other major NATO power supply ship work abroad. No other major NATO power would be so cavalier with our sovereign defence capabilities. No other major NATO power would risk the skilled jobs of our defence industry in the way that is being done here. I believe contracts to build ships for the Royal Navy and Royal Fleet Auxiliary should be onshored, homegrown, British designed, British made, using British steel and British technologies, preserving Britain's sovereign defence capabilities to design, build, equip and repair complex and important ships for our own use and for export. Mr Speaker, I favour a restricted tender for these ships, as I did back in January. They will be carrying arms, munitions and supplies, so I believe only UK shipyards should build them. I also believe, Mr Speaker, that history will be unkind on those MPs that offshore our defence work. Mr Speaker, let's not forget, when the Royal Navy is on the front line in contested waters off the coast of hostile powers, the Royal Fleet Auxiliary is there with them. Often overlooked, these ships form a vital part of our Royal Navy's ability to operate at sea, and they lead humanitarian, counter-piracy and counter-narcotics operation in and of themselves. RFAs are forward deployed, so they're already in the firing line. Let's not forget the government would have the support of both sides of the House if they followed the recommendation and applied this as a restricted tender. Very quickly, Mr Speaker, I know the member for Torrington West Devon is now otherwise engaged in his role as a cabinet, so cannot be here to talk about Appledore shipyards, but has been mentioned, once the superb work they have done on the Irish offshore patrol vehicles is complete, they have no more work. For this little shipyard, it is first class. They have the opportunity and the skills to build Type 31E modules or modules for the new RFAs, but if they don't get that order, the future of the yard looks bleak. I've met the workers from this yard, and let me say to the Minister, they are ready, willing and able to deliver modules for the new RFA build. Give them that chance, back British jobs and build them here.
Paul Sweeney.